In my opinion, Kittl is one of the best and easiest design tools out there for print-on-demand sellers in 2024. And that's why in this video, I'm going to give you a complete overview of Kittl, including how to use their templates, their AI art generator, premium fonts, text effects, their massive graphics library, as well as their texture effects, quote generator, mockup generator, and I will also go over some frequently asked questions at the end of the video. For example, can you use the Kittl templates without editing them? In case you didn't know, you can also sign up to a free plan with Kittl if you're completely new to it. That way you can test out some of the different features and get a bit of a feel for whether you like the tool or not before you commit to one of their subscription plans. So there will be a link in the description where you can sign up, and once you've logged into your account, you will see their dashboard page. And this is essentially a filtering system for their massive library of templates, because if I scroll down, everything you see right here are templates that you could use in your designs as well. And the way to filter through it is at the very top, we have some broad categories, for example, marketing right here. If you click on it, shows you different templates. Then we've got social as well. And it even provides further filters underneath, for example, Facebook posts, Instagram posts. And if you click on them, you will have even more suitable templates for that specific topic. YouTube thumbnails over here, you can see the designs are very different. If you want to deselect a filter, just click on it again, and then it goes back to the default view with everything. Let's go to the apparel section right here and look at t-shirts as an example. You've got more filters underneath too, and these are quite handy because if you're looking for a specific style, let's say a retro t-shirt design, then you can also click on that right here, and there's more filters hidden underneath this drop down. So if I click on retro, we've got lots and lots of styles right here. One good example is groovy. So if you're targeting people that like the groovy style, then you have a massive amount of templates ready and waiting for you right here. You can also filter by different themes. So if you were looking at a specific topic or a niche like surfing, adventure, food, travel, then you can do that as well, or color schemes too. So if you wanted some pink designs, some red designs, black designs, you know, that is possible as well to filter out. Over here, you have some more tags like typography t-shirts, vintage t-shirts, logo t-shirts. There is a vast array of filters that will help you find exactly what you're looking for. You can also sort these differently. Instead of trending, you can sort by name, the recent ones, most used, etc. So that's a quick overview of how this templates filtering system works. You can also start from scratch. You don't have to use a template, and you can search for a specific template with this box if you wanted to. I'll show you how to start from scratch as an option, and then how to use one of these templates. So if you wanted to start from scratch with a blank canvas, you click on new project right here in the top right corner, and that will bring up the artboard size. So whatever you're designing, whether it is a postcard, a poster, or something for POD, you can select presets right here. So the POD presets, this is a very handy tab because it has a lot of marketplaces and print providers built in right here with the exact dimensions. So if you're designing for Amazon, just click on that and it will give you the right pixels, the right DPI. If you're designing for Redbubble, you can get that at the click of a button as well. We've got Printify, Awkward Styles, Public Display, like almost everything is here that you need at the click of a button. You change the orientation. You can change this obviously as well and make it custom. If you needed some specific dimensions, you can do that as well. And then you just click create right here, and that will bring up the t-shirt design editor or the artboard system right here, where you can start with a blank canvas. We have a lot of tools on the left hand side to help you out, but you can start with a template, as I said. So let me show you how to do that as well. So let's say you found a t-shirt design template that you like. All you have to do to use it is just click on it right here, and that will bring it up in a new project file. And then you can simply click on the text layers right here, double click on them to edit what it says. So let's do groovy right here. That will update. As you can see, it's used the same effect with this wave right here, but it's a bit too large. So let's drag this box down and rearrange this. There we go. And now let's change the bottom bit as well. Groovy mama. Let's see. Yeah, that looks quite nice. You can click on any of the objects and move them around. And there we go. Now we've got a fresh design with a really, really cool template, and that was super, super easy. One quick tip here, if you're using a template, many times it might not have the right dimensions. So what you can do is you can click on the title of the artboard in the top left corner, and then you will see the dimensions over here. So you can change that with the presets, or if you're looking for something specific, then you could type in the dimensions over here. So let's do the merch by Amazon t-shirt dimensions, and then you will have to kind of resize this. So let's zoom out right here, and then I'm holding space, clicking and dragging to kind of move around the canvas. Let's zoom out one more time, and now we can draw a box over our design and increase the size to make it fit the new artboard. And this is going to work better on a t-shirt because it has the right dimensions. But there we go. That is a brief overview of how to use the template. You can also do things such as change the color scheme down here. You can use color palettes to quickly use some different presets. So that way you also amend the color scheme to something else. This one looks quite cool as well, for example. So just click on that and there we go. It's carried over. Don't worry about the yellow background, by the way. When you download a design, you can actually remove the background right here, and then it will be saved as a transparent PNG. And as a quick bonus, you can also find the templates on the left-hand side right here under this drop down, and that opens up the entire library as well with different categories. So we've got hats, we've got stickers, we've got labels, mugs, etc. And again, if you're searching for something specific, type it in right here. So if I wanted a retro t-shirt design, I can hit enter and we'll get a bunch of results for that. And you can also bring this up if it's too small and then get a large overview and pick a new template if you wanted to. So let's say we want to use this one right here. Then you can either create a completely new project file for this, or you can add it to the current one. So let's test that and show you what it looks like. There we go. That's already opened up. Now, if I click on the name right here in the top left corner, I can drag this artboard to the side, and then I can work on multiple designs at once. And again, go into here and make some changes. But what if you wanted to change the graphic? If you don't want to enter this cat niche, you have a different phrase, you have a different topic entirely. Well, there's a few ways to do that. And the first one would be the AI art generator. So if you hover over the symbols on the left hand side, you will find Kittl AI, and this is essentially a built-in AI art generator, and it gets some really good results, especially for print on demand. I'll give you a brief overview of how to use it. So you type in a prompt right here, then you can select an aspect ratio and a style from all of these presets right here. You can even upload your own style if you wanted to, and you have a bunch of options for either image styles. Those might be good for posters or stock photography or stock images that you want to sell. Clip art styles and vector styles will be most suitable for t-shirt design or most print-on-demand applications. And if you open these up right here, as you can see, there's a bunch of different options that look really, really cool. And I have made a video recently comparing all of these different styles and showing you results with different prompts. That way you know which one to choose for your design style, and you don't have to test them all out and wait forever for them to load. So in this case, I'm going to use the t-shirt graphic style because that works quite well for me. I've got the prompt at the top, and by the way, a quick bonus, you can also click on Kittl AI images and see what the community has shared right here. And if you like any of these results, you can also find the prompt associated if you click on the information symbol right here, and you can use the prompt by clicking on this button as well. But let's go back and actually hit generate on this because I want to add a new graphic to this template. I've already changed the text right here for a different niche. So here we go. A few seconds later, we've got a pretty neat result, and now we've got some built-in tools on the right hand side to first of all remove the background because we still have this white box around it. There we go. And now you can either vectorize or upscale the image as well. In this case, let's do image upscale because there is a few gradients in here and some smaller details which might get lost if we turn this into a vector. And whilst that's running, I will delete the cat graphic right here, and then we can pop this in place, resize it and align it to the center with this button over here. If you add a new graphic, you might still have to adjust some of the text in terms of its placement and its size, like this up here. You might have to be arranged a bit differently, or you might want to make it smaller actually. So there we go. That took some moving around, but I think now we've definitely utilized that template very well to fit a new different niche and yeah, still maintain that same style. And don't forget, if you want an overview of all of these styles right here for the AI art generator, then check out the video that I made recently, which will be linked in the cards. Besides the AI art generator, you can also use their big library of preset elements and shapes right here. So you can find that with this symbol. If I hide this away, and there we go, we've got the elements tab. So let's move this AI graphic to the side and try and find something new right here. here for a cruise ship. Obviously you have some categories again, so you could look at ornaments, illustrations, abstract things, or you've got basic shapes, you've got banners, badges, like many things right here to look through, grungy shapes, and that's pretty cool. You've got arrows. So yeah, lots and lots of options. But if we were looking for a cruise ship, you could type in cruise ship right here, and then you get a bunch of options. These all seem to be, a lot of them are sort of flat one color designs. There's nothing that is as detailed as our AI graphic, which is not an issue. You could always add a sort of vintage sunset as well. So what we can do is we could use this, for example, open it up right here, and you can have a simpler design, right? You could make it kind of simplistic like this. Some people prefer that style, or you could look for a vintage sunset in the elements tab as well, and then add one of these to the mix. As you can see, it appears in the foreground. In that case, you can go to the layers panel, and right here you can move it downwards underneath your shape of the cruise ship. So let's quickly resize some of this, move it around just so you get a bit of an idea of what I was trying to do. Right, there we go. That's definitely not the prettiest design I've ever made, but it's just a quick demonstration of how to use the elements right here to put together a new design as well. If you don't want to use the AI art generator for your graphics, then you have that option too. And there is a big array of graphics right here to help you out. For example, one thing that I use quite a lot within these elements is hidden under ornaments right here, and then you have spot elements. So these little star symbols right here, these are really cool to decorate your text designs or any designs for that matter, and kind of give them a bit of a unique touch. So yeah, check out the ornaments right here, specifically the spot element tab, and that's one that I probably use the most. So one more massive benefit of Kittl is their big library of premium fonts. So you might remember this design from earlier. If I click into the word mama right here, then you have typefaces on the right, and this font is already one of my favorites, Sunny Drop. It has that groovy feel to it, very popular in many print-on-demand niches. But as you can see, if you scroll down, there is loads and loads of fonts to choose from, and many of them look very good. You have filters at the top, so you can look at serif fonts, for example, just sans serif. You can look at script fonts. There's a lot of cool script fonts in Kittl, in my opinion, or other as well. Here you have some more funky stuff that doesn't really fall into many of the previous categories. You can also upload your own font if you want with this button right here, so you don't have to stick to the Kittl library. Let me just show you a few of my favorites. So Anton is kind of a go-to font that's very easy to read. It's not that feminine, so this design, it doesn't really suit, but it's very cool and works in many different niches. So that's a simple, straightforward font. We also have this one, which has more of a retro feel. It's called Adventure 4. Let's resize this here. There we go. Now you can see that font in full force. I've used this one quite a bit, and if you want to search for any fonts, just type it into here. So Adventure 04. Actually, here we have a bunch of adventure fonts. This one is similar, but it doesn't have those extensions. And then you have some other thin ones to go along with that. Let me find some other cool fonts that I use a lot in Kittl. So I really like this one called Insect Moksha right here, because it has a texture effect built in. With these text effects, it does look a bit funny, but let me quickly add a new text layer right here so you can see what I mean. Yeah, so if I type out the word fishing right there, just as an example, I think this is a very sort of stereotypical, great print-on-demand font. Has that grungy effect. It looks a bit fun. You know, it will work well for funny phrases, and I've used this in my designs as well and had sales with it, so that's definitely a go-to and one worth checking out. Bit of a weird spelling, but it's called Insect Moksha with a Y at the beginning. What's also cool about Kittl is that they have a lot of built-in text effects. So as you can see, this word sunshine, it has this sort of shadow, then it has some lines going across, sort of two-tone color scheme, and it just looks really nice. And this is super easy to recreate because text effects are hidden over here in the top right corner, and then you have different types of shading. So if I click through these examples, you can see right here we've got just a slight shadow, we've got this sort of singular line shadow which is very faint, and then we have block shadow which is a lot thicker, more intense, and over here we have a combination of multiple types. I do really like the block shadow, and in some cases I'll also use the line shadow. But yeah, just having these features right there at the click of a button is really handy, and you can change the color of the shadow as well over here, and then you have the option to change the offset, the angle, so where the sun is coming from essentially, and also the outline width down here if it's too thick for you, if you want or have a thin outline, you can control all of this very, very easily. On top of that, we get the decoration right here at the bottom. So that's the lines that go across. As you can see, we have more presets for this. You can click through them just briefly right here so you see what they all look like, and you can customize again the amount of lines. You can customize the weight as well, and the color, of course. If you wanted these to be white, for example, there we go. And let's click through these again so you can get more of an idea, different types of lines right here. But this one at the end is probably one of the nicest looking, at least in my opinion, and it works very well if you've got sort of two colors with different shades. So we've got a dark green right here and sort of a light lime green. That just looks amazing, and that's something that you can always kind of recreate. And yeah, just have a text design that stands out a little bit more. If you have a very long phrase on your design and you have lots of small words, then maybe this is not too applicable. Like, I wouldn't overdo it, but if you have some bigger words like sunshine in this case, state of mind is also fine, then that's definitely great. In combination with another sort of more plain font, it can look very, very nice. As you can see, do not disturb here at the bottom. It's very simple, and it just has a little wave effect to it, but yeah, it looks great in contrast to this sort of more 3D decorated font. Speaking of this wave effect, that's another thing you can do within Kittl. If you have text selected, then at the bottom you can see the transformation section, and here you can either do a custom transform and kind of bend this to your liking if you want to kind of make it go around a certain shape, or you have something specific in mind, or you just use the preset. So with distort, we can again customize this. That's not really a preset, you have to kind of amend it right here, but the presets start with circle. So you probably know this, circular text around a shape, and we just had it in one of the examples. You can also direction invert right here, and that way it's going to be at the bottom. Let me just move this back to the artboard. So you can see, there we go. So that's been flipped, so it's showing at the bottom. Very, very easy and straightforward to do that within Kittl. In Illustrator, that takes forever. And then we have angle. So that's what you can see with state of mind and sunshine right here. They're at a slight angle. Looks pretty cool. It's a small detailer, but it adds a bit of pizzazz to your design. You know, it gives it a bit of motion, and it definitely makes this one look quite cool in combination with the other text effects. So that is angle. Then we have arch. So that's kind of like the circle, but a more subtle way to bend the text around an object. We have rise as well, and again, if you click into the presets, you can still customize them further if you wanted to. Wave as well, and then we have flag. Right, so these are the presets. You also have this slider, that way you can amend the preset and make it more extreme or change the direction of it. This is really, really handy. You can reset the transform or confirm it with this button as well, and then there we go. The rest of this text window is fairly self-explanatory. You've got the font size, you've got the letter spacing, the line height, and then different font weights as well if your font allows that. You've got text align features, and you can center or align the text to the artboard over here if you wanted to. Another way to make your t-shirt designs stand out is by adding a texture effect, and Kittl's got you covered for that as well. On the left hand side, we've got this textures tab, and they have an array of different types of textures right here. So we have grunge at the top, loads of different options. We have paper textures, pattern textures, alpha mask, crack textures, and more. How to use these? So let's say we want to use one of these alpha masks. I quite like this one right here. Then click on the texture that you want to use, and it will be applied to your design. The first thing you want to do is clip the content down here, because that way the texture is only going to apply to the actual design and nothing else. And then we can change the effect right here from color burn to alpha mask, and that way the texture is going to be erased from the design, and no matter which background color we use on our canvas, there we go. As you can see, it always shines through, and that's ideal. That's what you want if you add a texture to your t-shirt design. Ideally, that way the sort of color of the t-shirt shines through the cracks. And yeah, there we go. So that's how to use the textures. Once you have these settings configured, you can still click through the textures on the left hand side to find whichever one you like the most. There's definitely a lot of options right here within Kittl to play around with, and they make your designs look even nicer. Now, if you're ever stuck for t-shirt design ideas, or you can't think of a phrase to use within your design, then Kittl also has a cool tool to help you out there. You can find that when you're on the dashboard page right here. You can always access the dashboard page, by the way, by clicking on the Kittl logo, and that always stays there, even if you're within a design project. Like right here, just click on Kittl, and then you can go to the tools section where we can find the AI quote generator right here. So let's open that up and hit generate quotes. So the first step to this is choosing a niche. You can either choose a preset right here, or if you have a very specific topic that you're struggling to come up with a phrase for, then you can type it in. So let's just do owl as an example, hit continue. Then you can choose the mood. In most cases, you probably want to go for funny, and then the length of the sentence. So I'll choose 5 to 8 words right here and then hit generate quotes. And after a few seconds, you will have a bunch of suggestions of what to put on your t-shirts. There we go. I will see you in the dark. That's a pretty good one. Night owl, daydreamer. Yeah, so that's a good idea, targeting night owls. Who's there? It's me, owl. Okay, I don't like the full sentence here, but who's there is a good starting point, I would say. So not all of these are going to be perfect. It is AI generated, but some of them will definitely be useful for your designs. You can click use this quote and then open it up straight away in a document, or you can just copy and paste it into an existing design project. Once you're done with creating a design, you also have the ability to create mockups for it straight away right here within the editor. So let's say we're happy with this. You can click on mockup right here, and that will bring up their mockup generator. The design loads in the middle, and you can resize this and then place it wherever you want. The color of the mockup by default will be your artboard background color, which is a handy feature, but you can change that, of course, if you so wish. So let's maybe make this a maroony color right here as an example, and you can download the mockup with this green button or save it to uploads as well. And you have a lot of categories on the left hand side, and we have candles, walls right here. So if you wanted your design blown up on a wall, that's probably good for branding projects. Then we also have down here paper flat lays, we have tags, t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, so more apparel at the bottom. And let's say we want to do a hoodie. Let's open up this section. Let's pick this guy as an example, resize this design a little bit, and then there we go. We can click download, and then we have that saved to our device straight away. So yeah, a very quick and easy, seamless way to go from finished design to finished mockups as well, all within this same application. And now just to go over a few frequently asked questions briefly, some of which I also get underneath my videos. So you can find those if you click on licensing all the way down here at the bottom of the page and scroll down. The licensing is explained, but the FAQ section is down here at the bottom. So can you use the designs you create with Kittl for print on demand? Yes, you are permitted to use them on t-shirts, on mugs, posters, whatever you want. And there's no limit on the quantity. And this is if you have a paid subscription. On the free subscriptions, there is no commercial usage rights. And then also another commonly asked question is, do I need to customize design templates to sell them as print products? It is not mandatory to customize templates to sell them as print products. However, we highly recommend customizing them to a certain extent, as marketplaces like Etsy, Redbubble, or Amazon Merch flag and remove product duplicates in their listing, which is true. So yes, technically you don't have to make changes, but most likely someone else has already used that template. The original creator of the design probably already uploaded it, and then you might get reported, or you might get that taken down because it looks like you infringed on someone's copyright, or you just, duplicated that design. So I would personally highly recommend using the templates as a starting point, changing the text, the color scheme, the graphics. You can maintain the same layout, the same style, but do make some changes, and that will make it probably easier to get sales because you're not competing with other people that have copied it, and you also won't get into trouble for having a copied listing. So there we go. If you want the answers to any of these other questions, just go to the licensing page on Kittl, and alternatively they also have a contact us section. And just a quick heads up as well, I am using the expert plan right here, but I think the pro plan is actually a perfect starting point. It's very affordable and it gives you access to pretty much all of the features. You just have a bit less space in the cloud and you get a bit less credits than you would do with the expert plan, but that's totally fine. The pro plan, great starting point if you want to create designs and use them commercially, and you can also get an extra 25% off if you use my code AndersYT. If you want to see me create a t-shirt design from start to finish using Kittl, then make sure to check out this video next.